Good day. Today we are going to talk about an issue that I've been debating on talking about for a long time. This is a remake of an older video I made over 8 years ago on a now deleted YouTube channel. It is based on the Twilight Zone episode Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Original air date March 4th, 1960. And I've updated the script that I used for it quite a bit, given our current status of the world. Shall we begin? After a mysterious roaring sound permeates the neighborhood and a flash of light, all the homes on Maple Street lose power. What's more, the batteries in cars and radios go dead. People come into the street and discuss the situation. A little boy tells the adults about a similar situation he read about, and that monsters from outer space were responsible. When one neighbor's car starts, people accuse him of being responsible for the blackout, or in league with those who are. They begin pointing the finger of blame at one another, and the accusations lead to physical violence. Humans are capable of evil under the most trying of circumstances, or even without them. Disease, war, or civil strife are prime examples of this being the rule of people doing evil. Unfortunately, we haven't changed much since then. Humans are capable of real evil, and this is frighteningly true. We've seen this during the summer of 2020 during the riots under the Trump administration, and where people acted violently just for the sake of chaos. In one case I read about a while back, a woman was shot in the head in front of her kids so they would learn not to be racist. Who the hell gave that man permission to play judge, jury, and executioner? Now those children are going to grow up probably hating black people because one killed their mother. Closer to home here in Nova Scotia, Canada, we had a mass shooting where a guy who was well known to the police went on a killing spree while dressed up as a cop. The mass shooting revealed how broken our system here in Canada is, especially around emergency alerts and keeping police gears like rifles, vests, and police cruisers out of the hands of people who are not police officers. And I will be doing a separate video on that. But it should be noted that during instances of strife, people seek out scapegoats. Humans are ruled mainly by the lower limbic brain, the reptilian brain, fight or flight, kill or be killed. This is a mechanism that allowed us to survive as a species. But beyond that, social prejudice, real and or imagined, also plays a role. Anyway, this brought up a new evil that we alone created in the 1950s, McCarthyism, which this episode is about, in a way. Definition of McCarthyism is a campaign of suspicion and innuendo against alleged communists or a fifth column group, real or imagined, that U.S. government and other institutions carried out under Senator Joseph McCarthy in the period of 1954. Many of the accused were blacklisted or lost their jobs. Did not belong to any communist party or any other fifth column group. However, the premise of this story can also be applied to other philosophies such as social justice, if taken too far. Another side premise of this story too is over-reliance on technology. But that is another video. Right now we're focusing on the social aspects. The aliens in the story weren't the villains, but they played the role of heiress. And yes, at the end of the episode, it is revealed that aliens were behind all of this. But anyway, they played the role of heiress, bringer of strife and chaos in the story. All they simply did was throw the golden apple, or in this case, kill the power, and the people acted on their own evil within themselves. And the aliens simply watched and marveled at the chaos they unleashed as the residents of Maple Street descended into madness, all because little Tommy told the adults around him that he read a comic book with a similar story, and that the neighbor whose car started was new to the neighborhood, therefore an outsider. Humans have descended into madness before over the stupidest things imagined. History is full of examples of this. Everything from the Hog War to the Nika riots. And we're going to discuss the Nika riots briefly. The Nika riots happened in 532 AD in the city of Constantinople in the Eastern Roman Empire, where the Emperor Justinian had a bunch of hooligans arrested and executed for a crime spree. It should be noted that at the time this happened, the annual chariot races were being held in Constantinople. And for the uninitiated, chariot races were the equivalent of NASCAR in the ancient world. But anywho, these hooligans were arrested and executed for crimes that included SA, which we all know what that is, and arson, robbery, as well as vandalism. The entirety of the spectators went into riots after the executions and tried to overthrow the emperor. The riots were put down by the use of force, leaving 35,000 spectators dead. So this is not inconceivable that people could turn on their neighbors or their friends for silly reasons. And at the end of the episode of the Twilight Zones, the aliens mused to themselves at how easy it is to divide people against each other over trivial things, and how it can be of use to them. There are a lot of evil people on both sides of the political aisle who desire power over the masses, who are probably actively using this playbook, stoking fear, prejudice, and past injustices as a route to power. Much like these aliens did with the residents of Maple Street, by playing on their fears. The fear of the outsider. The fear of the one who is out to destroy them. We live in very frightening times that are probably only going to get a lot worse as the economy falters, as affordable housing becomes a thing of the past. Even putting food on the table will become a struggle. We're going to be seeing a large amount of scapegoating happening, probably. So be wary, people.